Hi Aquarius, welcome back for your August reading. We've changed these readings up again this month. We have added a couple of elements into it, and that in the general section is going to have a connection to, how money's travelling for you, how to actually directly deal with it. Sorry about the lighting, it's pretty poor. Okay. And then we're going to look at family. And from family, we will then travel into the area of your general, and we'll try and sum it up. And good old me put the chakra cards away. So I'm going to actually intuitively see emotionally what's coming up, because I always go with the way readings go. Now, I'm not your traditional card reader, so the way in which I read the cards directly comes from the instincts, the intuition, the visions I visually see. So it's not the cards as per se. So it's the environment I'm currently feeling, what is going on around you. A bit like when you're in a private reading. For me, the way it actually works is, it might just be your voice, and then it just turns on and it's ready to go. So we'll just work with it that way today. So you're going to have to go with the flow with a few things. The way you're looking at things, things are going to come at left field. They're going to take you by complete surprise. Something's gone under the radar in some aspect in life, and it comes about without a sense of warning. And you're not, I guess it may have already transpired. So the way you directly deal with it is going to be connected to, because you're not used to the outcome as per se, you're not really knowing how you need to address each area or relate, or you're unsure about how people are going to react towards you, connected to who you are and what you like doing. So it's an unsure energy you have of a situation, and this can be in any area of your life. So the way in which you're handling it is you're walking on eggshells, but it's not necessary. And the only reason you're doing that is because it's new to you in some shape or form, and you're not knowing whether this is good or this is bad because you're just completely unsure. So what else am I saying? And then we'll get on to the reading. If you're wanting a booking, you know the deal. Boxes down below. Hopefully the shop is open. There would have been a notification. If it's not, there will be. I'm doing these before the notification, obviously. Multitasking. That is something you're dealing with at the moment, multitasking. I do feel you actually doing a little bit of travelling, and that travel can be directly related to you physically wanting to have a trip, or you visiting people at afar that you haven't for a while and unsure about how it's going to be, because you actually haven't seen them in a while and you haven't experienced this element or this dynamic I'm hearing. So you're going to visit somebody, and it's directly connected to you, to your friends, to your family. This could be for some of you new additions to the family, or it could be new people connected to the family. And when you're traveling to see them, you're unsure what this is going to feel like, what this is going to mean, and how it's going to be. But you're going with the flow, and you're going to do it anyway because you need to visually see. I do see things travelling through the grapevine, so words coming to you physically, and that is, it does take you by surprise, the things you hear, and you thought, no, well, I was in the loop on this, so how has this happened? It feels like you were out of a loop of a situation. Not intentionally so, just that some things have transpired and they're going to come to light, and it will take you by surprise. I don't feel this is anything bad. I feel it's different. So you might be instantly, maybe, no, that can't be possible. And then directly after, well, okay, well, now I need to go and see. So it feels like the trip might be directly connected to going to see a person or people connected to this information that you actually receive. Okay, so in the money, okay, something you're wanting to do and something you're wanting to get off the ground, you're really not knowing how to go about it. So money could be a direct connection to this month for you of how you're going to handle it, how you're going to manage it, how you're going to generate it. Or it could be directly related to money that is legitimately yours and how you're going to go about getting it. Okay, so it could be anything to do with contracts, legalities. Again, I am not a lawyer or a representative of any of that. That is a very separate energy. This is, you know, for what they would call entertainment. Money is connected to you and you're working on your energy in the here and now of how to directly deal with it, how to utilize it, how to receive it. So that is highlighted for some reason, but we'll get back to that. Okay, something's not being given to you. Now, this is in reverse, and the energy I'm feeling is what you thought you were going to get, you're not going to get. What you are going to get is what you're going to actually put into something. So if you have an idea in mind of a business venture, the energy you put into it is what you're going to get back. And the infusion of energy connected into the workplace, I feel, is going to generate great growth. Connected to anything you place your personal energy into, it has great success. And in a sense, the final outcome for that scenario is what you put in, what you get out won't only be the cash, it's going to be the freedom in a sense of you realizing that you had control over this situation the entire time but didn't know it. Okay, now in your family life, some things have changed. And where you thought, okay, this might be what I was picking before. Okay, so I've got worlds upon worlds upon worlds, and this is for the family. So this is the current energy moving into the month. And it could be something, again, that has already transpired, or it could be currently happening in the very first week. So you have this card in reverse. Now, directly connected, you know, the ultimate outcomes of families, of the way you're interacting with each other, something in that world has changed. Yet it hasn't. So it could be something has happened, but something's different. And I know this is a bit of a jumble, but this is the energy coming through. Something has re-happened in a family unit that has unhashed a past tense scenario that is making you remember a past memory. That's what I'm hearing. So something connected to family, of something's not changing, but something's definitely changing and taking you by left field. And I don't think that kit is really working. It's going to be the highlight connected to you understanding what's going on and how to actually deal with these family members and I think it's this information you receive where you're going to visit somebody. I think it may actually for some of you be directly connected to a family member. Okay, emotionally speaking, for you, this is your personal journey to have an understanding of the full circle and the cycles of life and how worlds can intertwine. So you've got worlds upon worlds, and you can come from opposite sides of the track. And the scarred journey is either yours or theirs, and that's something you need to understand. So it may be a realization from an observational point of view that you visually see this, or somehow by you observing something within a family unit of how people have changed but haven't changed, they're still ultimately the same person they've always been, but an aspect of them has evolved and an aspect of them is connected to an extension of who they are, but it doesn't completely define them. So somehow it's asking you to actually realise that this person is who they are and they have their road, but they love you, care for you in their own unique way, and that the way they're looking at things is different. And that's not that that's good or bad, it's just divinely who they are. And you're going to have this realization, acceptance of what this scenario is. And part of this is a path and a process that both you and this person are going to be walking and understanding and on like the same page. It's going to make you very happy, but maybe a little bit emotional. And there's going to be a little bit of reflection going on where between you and this one person, and I feel it is really one person, and I don't feel it's of a romantic nature. I feel it's directly a person who you look up to, or as a family, or you might have had troubles with. You two are both going to learn something about each other. And it doesn't have to be that there's that physical conversation or physical contact. It may just be purely from an observation point of view that you learn something about your internal that you didn't even know you had going on. Moving forward, connected to family and how you directly relate with them, you're not going to be still. You've got this card in reverse. It's going to set the wheels in motion. Now, I'm not feeling this to be a bad thing. I do feel you may move house for some of you. I do actually feel you will move closer in a relationship sense directly connected to your family. And this doesn't have to be one person. This can be many people. It can be healing connected inside family where you move towards something, but maybe the advice is that you need to stand still. So for me, the two chakra cards that pop out in my mind is heart chakra and third eye. So your intuition with information coming through is believing that something is so. But you need to use your intuition because it is not so. And you will have that divine observation that something has changed and something is different, and you can actually learn from somebody else, no matter what walk of life they actually come from. And by not being still, again, maybe the guidance is to observe and be still, but you're not going to be. So that can be for good or bad. It can be that you're moving forward quite bluntly, or if you're using your heart chakra and your third eye connected to your intuition and your heart, get grounded and balanced. And the way you directly deal with how you vibrationally feel connected to these scenarios coming up will have the best possible outcome. Wow. Externally, how this entire scenario this month is going to be directly connecting to you. What I'm feeling is the clarity. You've got this card in reverse, so the clarity as such, and it can be connected to Cancerian, it can be connected to, any sign really, but one in particular that I'm sensing can be that. The clarity in a sense is coming, but you got it in reverse, and it doesn't really matter upright or reverse. Like I said, I read the cards in an energy, so I could be looking at it this way. Whatever I'm sensing is what I can visually then tap into and see. In a sense of a way you thought something was going to go, it's actually not going to go. And like I said before, when I was shuffling the cards, I was feeling as though the way you're looking at something is you thought you knew everything that was to come. And, we can kind of lull into that fake sense of Groundhog Day and tomorrow is going to be the same. I'm going to get up, I'm going to eat my brekkie and brush my teeth and clean the house for some. For others, I'm going to wash the car, mow the lawn. And I didn't say male or female because I am very equal that way. Okay, so the way you thought something was going to happen, it's going to be very different. And that's going to make you feel a bit funny. You're kind of going to be thinking, well, I actually didn't anticipate that. But clarity is going to come, but it wasn't from where you thought it was coming. So information may not come from the horse's mouth. It might come through the grapevine, and that might frustrate you. And you want to be in the loop. You're either queen bee or you're king bee. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're used to being the go-to person. So because it hasn't eventuated that way, that actually does make you cross, and that is fair enough. But don't take it personal, because the vibration I'm feeling, it's not a personal thing. It's the way it goes. but information to you is going to come, and it's going to come from a way that you didn't physically feel it would. And although it's going to give you a sense of clarity, you were blinded by the fact that you even thought this was coming. Whatever is changing in your world and your life and in your external. I do feel you're going about your life and all these things start happening and you're going, wow, didn't see that coming. Some of these things are going to personally affect you very, very greatly. So they will be directly connected to you and you alone. And not in your wildest dreams will you believe these things can be. You have this in reverse. So maybe you're not dreaming hard enough, and maybe dreams that you thought aren't going to happen actually do happen, and you're very, very pleasantly surprised, and it's a wonderful feeling. But I do feel a very good feeling connected to it, and I do feel your life is moving forward in a very positive sense, emotionally and vibrationally speaking. And I feel as though there's lots of changes, but it's pleasant changes. I do actually sense birth connected to people around you. It can be you, but it feels connected to just some really random surprises that you would have never imagined, and it comes out of left field. Let's find out what this surprise is. I think it's some various, yeah, it's some various things. Look, again, it's through something that you hear that is going to be beyond your wildest dreams. So it can be a confession of love, because this is the general part of the reading. It can be a declaration or information or a contract. It can be anything connected to, wouldn't have even thought it in your wildest dreams. But it's someone who's going to tell you this information, so it's not directly coming from the direct person. It's the person who's telling the story upon the subject as per se. Okay, so as I said, I have changed these, and that is an aspect of the changed readings for the moment, because I don't want to get you guys bored. And I am doing this, you know, full time now, so I'm able to add some extra dynamics in there. Life has been busy though. Now, couples. The added section I have placed is for people that are in two minds, whether, you know, sometimes the energies will come through for singles and couples in both senses of you being an individual as per se. And this year is very much about people being very individual, people being very true to themselves, and about what is directly important and relevant to themselves. So this is a very large area I'm feeling is relevant for all, so to speak. So the way you'll get your information won't necessarily come through in only couples. As you, as a human self, you'll get that from the general energy, but you may actually get some snippets through the single section. So the added addition to this reading is the in-betweeners, and that's for people that perhaps don't know whether to go left or right, or, you know, don't really relate in any given shape because they're different in the sense that they're just unsure. So it's an in-betweeners reading I've added. Okay, couples. That'll be right. Your partner. Okay. Partner's got some interesting energy coming in. Oh, guys. Okay. Your partner's energy is coming through either nostalgic or sad, directly connected to something around them or directly connected to the relationship. You're actually looking at different things connected to your external, and you're daydreaming in relation to perhaps what you feel it should be and how you think things should be. So the energy that your partner has is very confused, connected to how to go about things and what they're going to do, and really about your behavior and how you're actually relating. So if you have personal things going on, it can be that your partner is thinking like, is this like normal? Are you okay? That's what I'm hearing. You're kind of off thinking of other things, and it can be of better times in life, but I feel it's almost like you're none the wiser, really none the wiser of the fact that this person's, you know, a little bit concerned about what is going on with you, and you're all good. You're thinking of other things. You're none the wiser. You're not. You need to come down to ground. That's what maybe you need to do. But if you need to do that, it's the intuition you're using. It's your third eye, as per se. So I'm not having a bad feeling connected to what you're doing. Okay, connected to money. Okay, so when they're feeling very confused by your behavior, and you're still being patient and you're thinking about things and you're wanting something, there's no celebration connected to this. There's a pause and a delay connected to what you're waiting for. And maybe it could be that you're both trying to have children, because I did say in the general part that I did sense children. So it could be that you're waiting and waiting and things like this aren't getting off the ground. I'll dig deeper. Okay, whether it's connected to money that you've currently invested into an aspect of your coupled life, there can be contracts and legalities connected to this where both of you are freeing yourself from the scenario. So it could be many things. It could be connected to, what am I feeling? I feel you started walking down a road in a particular way connected to the relationship, and it's not suiting the style of the relationship or the way and the road in which the relationship's going. For some of you, it might be connected to birthing of a child and perhaps having to free some assets connected to it and able to follow that dream and that journey. Or there could be a delay in a move into a new house. There feels like there's a delay. Always trust delays. Don't ever feel they're there to punish you. They're generally there for a divine purpose of direct timing. So, you know, we can actually really test it out. If you're finding you're pushing and pushing to try and open that door because you're saying, oh, I completely know that is the road I'm going. If intuitively you know that that is the road, in fact, at some point in your life you are going to go, that's fine. Never question that. But do question why the door isn't opening. The door isn't opening to protect you. It's not to punish you. It's directly connected to a correct timing when something is supposed to happen within your life. So hear what the universe is trying to tell you. Try not to take it personally. That is happening for a real reason, and it's for that perfect moment. The perfect moment can be for many reasons. It's asking your partner to let go of the situation. That, in fact, yes, it is directly connected to divine timing. Whatever this process is, whether it's freeing yourselves from the contract of the relationship or freeing yourself financially to actually attain a dream, however this directly relates. This is a general reading after all. But I'll pull clarity cards connected to this. Okay. Go with the flow, the both of you. You know, guys, you might be trying to be strong and trying to do the right thing and manifesting and daydreaming connected to this goal or this dream that you're going for. All the while, if you're not grounded and you're not balanced connected to this and all you're focusing on is that, you're not living. Through this, you're going to have success and you will get what you need through it. but the patience and the skill connected to all of what you're both manifesting and moving towards is really taking a toll. But it's creating something inside yourselves that is not directly linked to the road you're physically wanting to go. It's directly linked to, you know, your growth as a whole, as well as the direct relationship and, you know, how it's directly affecting you. So how it's affecting you is actually going to help you. It's positive. That's what I'm hearing. It could be anything down to what I'm being shown is the delay benefits you in a financial sense, where something could be worth more, or connected to children. There could be a fund that comes through. This could be from anything, from a department as per se. Weird, yeah. Okay, so this could be directly connected to children, or connected to the family home as per se and what you're wanting to create, and that's fine. But remember, you'll always be guided and the doors will always open up at the correct time. So if you're getting low, keep doing what you're doing, but change it up a bit. Change it so that you're not going to completely just focus on that, because you have to live and you want to have those memories too. So if you have a family and you've got children and your life isn't looking exactly how you believe it should be for you, your partner, your children, whoever this directly relates for, change it up so you keep the energy fresh. You don't want your energy in your life to become stale, because you are not defined by your money, by your house, by your final outcome, because there's always going to be another goal. We always have more goals than one. And as you complete one, you make another. So don't use your days just having that aspect directly define who you are as a human being, because you're so much more than that. This can actually be directly connected to a connection in your partnership, moving to the next level of marriage and trying to save for that as well. So it feels as though the money connected to this relationship and the delays and the pauses, could even be the vibration you both share together, is you might hit a stagnation period and then it pops back up again. Trust the universe is trying to tell you something. Really go into your intuition to see what this means. And if you're thinking, oh gee, is this situation like doomed? Why are you thinking that? Are you physically thinking that because you feel it's a reality? Or are you feeling just tired from the process of it? And if it's tired, like I said, you need to change it up so you can keep your energy fresh and positive, and that will give you the best possible outcome. It's saying you don't need to love yourself first, because you've actually done the internal work, because this is in reverse. So this is directly connected to another person. It's directly connected to children, other people, roads in which you want to go, or acquiring assets or finances. It feels a change within the relationship connected to the reason why the frustration is there. Okay. Love to hear how this relates. Now, in between it, for those of you that are at a crossroad and don't know what to do and needing a little bit of clarity, shuffling today. You guys have got a weird energy going on today. You might not be talking to somebody at the moment for making your mind up connected to something. And I feel you've paused something. You've really pulled back connected to what you're wanting to do, left or right. Some information might have actually come to light. I'm going to have to note that. I get allergies. Incense kills me. I love it though. Feels as though Okay, somebody you actually like has challenged you in some sense. So it might be that you're tempted, but you don't know how to directly address how you physically feel. So in order to get that clarity, you're actually removing yourself, and it's like hermit mode. It's like hermit mode in a sense of you're standing back and you're saying, ooh, and that can be good or bad, but I'm feeling as though it's because you are keen. Now, who this directly relates to, you will know by the way I describe perhaps the personality. We'll see what comes. It might be you've already started that process, although maybe you haven't walked, or maybe you're not walking towards a door or a road as per se. It feels as though, in a way, you're meditating on a factor of how you feel, or how you feel directly connected to a person who you're not really feeling the deep connection with anymore. And the reason you're feeling that way is either you feel that somehow you... Now, I'm getting two energies coming now. Okay, you're feeling like you're processing both sides. I feel connected to left or right for you physically. The person that you're sad about is a person that's let you down, but you feel you're letting yourself down because a person that you like has let you down. That's what I'm hearing. So you're kind of going back and forward thinking, you're processing the aspect of loss and what it directly means to you, and you're trying to work out, you know, can you change that pattern? Can you break that pattern? Is there ever going to be a change? You're coming to terms with that, and you're gonna have a light bulb moment connected to it, and connected to how you process relationships and how you assess things. And you're really coming to a point where you're going to be using your heart chakra connected to you physically trusting yourself and knowing that you can actually make positive choices, and you won't actually be moving forward to anything because you're thinking you're a little bit cursed, but it's not you. It's the process of, you know, coming to terms and meditating and thinking on what's relevant and right for you, because that's the utmost. And, you know, you might be feeling this whole situation of where you're being placed is quite unfair. So something may have actually happened connected to where you currently are now and why you're being placed at this crossroad. And it doesn't have to even be that there's another person. It can just be that you're wondering, do you stay or do you go? And, you know, again, I'm not a therapist, I'm a reader. So personally, the way you're feeling it is you're processing that, and you're trying to understand just a sense of self and, you know, what you need to do. And you're considering the aspects of what you feel is enough for you vibrationally within relationships, and what you positively feel is, and I feel you want to move towards that. Now, manifestation's quite similar in a sense that even if you visually haven't been given it by another person, you physically feeling it and owning a sense of, this is what I vibrationally feel is right for me, and this is what I think is enough for me in a loving, committed relationship. And you owning that aspect that you're entitled to that, and when you do, you receive it. And a person who does move forward to you is going to have these attributes because you visually have put it out there. This is what I'm going to tolerate. This is what I know I deserve. I am a very good person and I'm worth this, and that's what I'm going to have. And don't ever question it. Yeah, we'll have our moments where we do. Bring your head back in and, as my girlfriend says, calm your farm, and you're going to have what you deserve. Okay, you need to forgive this scenario, whatever is not serving you anymore, in order to have that forward motion, because you know this person isn't your soulmate. You'll know which one if there are two people involved. There can be a differences connected, which again, it could be due to a twin flame connection or a soulmate of a person who's coming in. And sometimes, look, it's not that there's another person, you know, in the situation. It can physically be that you just vibrationally know where you currently are. It's not it. And you've already done the work, because again, it's repeating itself. It's saying, this is in reverse, love yourself first. You've already done the work. So you actually do know, because you've been doing the internal work to actually work out why you're feeling this way. And you're removing a connection, okay? So it might be that you were going to get engaged or commit to a further level, or push something in a, you know, in a direction. Now this, for some of you, there can be a, okay, I can see water sign, air sign. Oh, there's one of each actually, so this can be any, I mean, the person's energy connected to who you are thinking about of do I go. This person has done all they can. That's what I'm hearing. It's, and I don't even think they know that you're questioning it. I think there's been a stagnation to a degree for some of you. Where something has to change, and if it doesn't, I don't feel that, you know, vibrationally it will remain the same. That's unless a conversation perhaps happens, or communication connected to this, or you feeling that there is a salvation connected to the scenario. For the month of August, things do change. Singles. What do we have for you guys? Okay, there's a person around you that might be acting a little bit immaturely, or maybe you don't think where you're traveling and what's going on is that perhaps you're quite ready for that, or you think what a person's offering you isn't quite enough. You have placed yourself in limbo connected to a love. Now, this could be the way you look at love, or it can be a physical person, as per se. But I do feel an offer has been made or is about to be made. Now, the reason I say has been made is because I do actually see somebody from your past coming back that is connected to an offer that perhaps wasn't offered in a way that you thought was cool. And they're coming back meek and wanting to give you something, but with quite a nervous energy. And there is going to be a forward movement connected to this. You're going to actually find this to be quite amusing, and you knew it was coming. That's what I'm feeling, and that's what I'm being showed. So if this doesn't relate to you, please look at your rising signs, because the highest, you know, you tend to grab the highest energies that are coming through. I do see a Sagittarius around you. Now, this Sagittarius might be connected to this individual who's coming towards you. So it could be a physical friend or a family member who's directly connected to this love interest that's coming in or has made an offer. They're going to be quite outspoken, or this could physically be you. It could be you being outspoken connected to this and how you think things should be. You're being patient because, or maybe this person's actually having to be patient with the transition you're going through, or the excuses you're giving them connected to the reason why a decision hasn't been made. You will need to use your intuition connected to this and ask yourself the question, why have you not moved connected to it? Is it directly connected to your childhood, your past, or some relevant reason why you feel it's It's like you're keeping them there. You do want them there, but you're not quite, you're like, I'm not sure. It might be that you're just, it's early days. It's too early for you to jump the gun. It could be that you look at them like they're really innocent and they're not quite your type. It can be that maybe you're just a little bit too innocent to get into a scenario that they're asking of you. And it's not your style. I'll pull some clarities on that because there's some interesting energies coming through there. Okay, when you were younger, this person may have been in your life, or a scenario previously is reminding you of a current scenario coming up. Now, things have evolved and things have moved, and maybe you thought it was too early when the person actually offered you this scenario. And maybe they reserved their rights to give, or, you know, to even reciprocate back and forward after that was done. So they might have retreated back in order to give you that space. But you are going to work together connected to this. So I do feel there's going to be a sense of communication connected to a love interest and a love offer of what will be coming, or what has already been offered, but then it's going to be re-offered, I'm feeling. Yeah, what you didn't want to reconcile with, because this is the past tense, it's in reverse, you didn't reconcile with this person. And it wasn't about money, although you may have been making excuses connected to the reasons why you could, or maybe it was about money, but now it's not about money. And it's the correct time, as per se, to actually address this relationship and where you want it to go. So perhaps in your life, if you had a transition out of a relationship, for you, you know, you didn't want to think about the past, even if there was somebody in your mind from the past that perhaps might have interested you, it was just not the correct time. So you were doing the healing work in order to move forward. Okay, you're not letting your friends help you, and that is physically because you're all good and you're very independent and you're very private as well. You do like to know what's going on. You don't like telling everyone your business, though. Very private. Very sneaky. My daughter's an Aquarian. I know this. And there will be a reconciliation. And I chucked that back in the deck and reshuffled it and come back out again. So this person's very stubborn. And this person is going to give you... they're going to give you love on your terms. So you've obviously made it quite clear connected to this person, and they are actually going to offer it in the package that you're actually requiring it. See you later.